everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Linda. I'm here today to react to Supernatural Season 1 Episode 3, Dead in the Water. I'll put up the same disclaimer here that I've said in the previous 2 episodes of Supernatural. For me, this is a rewatch, so I've seen the entire series right up to the finale, and so there will be spoilers throughout all my reactions. There may not be many, or I'm not always going to refer to the very last season or the finale, but there'll be spoilers throughout all the reactions to potentially all of the episodes. So just as a warning, if you haven't finished the series yet, maybe finish and then come back and rewatch the episodes with me, because the show is infinitely rewatchable as far as I'm concerned. So this is Dead in the Water, which is one of my favorite episodes of season 1, just because, as a obsessive Dean girl, we start to get a little bit of, it's only episode 3, but we start to see just a little bit of Dean's slightly softer side, a little more vulnerable, talking about his mom, and we also get introduced to Dean's incredible relationship with kids and how he relates to them, which is sort of joked about a little bit in this episode, but becomes increasingly apparent throughout this episode and then in subsequent episodes throughout the series, that he really is amazing with kids, and he seems to take things especially hard when kids are involved. Like he always wants to make sure that little kids and little ones are being protected, including even up through like teenagers and stuff. If he feels like the kid is vulnerable and a young kid, he's extra protective and cautious and worried. So this is a cool introduction to that part of him. And just the monster itself is quite creepy as far as I'm concerned. I guess it's not a monster, but the spirit. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into Season 1, Episode 3 of Supernatural, Dead in the Water. You do see a little bit in this episode. You start to see, and it happens throughout pretty big chunks of the first season, certainly in the beginning episodes, where they're kind of almost re-explaining the story, like the overarching story. TV shows back in the day did that a lot, because there wasn't, like if you missed the first 2 episodes of Supernatural, the show, there was no way for you to see it. Like you missed it. And so until it was ever, like whenever it was, they were put into reruns and stuff, or sometimes over the summer they would do reruns, and so you could watch them then. But other than that, like if you missed the first 2 episodes, you just were out of luck. You had no idea what was going on. So a lot of shows back then would, for the first season for sure, a lot of times in the early parts, in the early episodes, they would sort of restate the theme and the idea of the show, so that when we're watching it streaming, it can feel a little repetitive. Like, yeah, you guys literally just said this last week, but that wasn't the case back then, right? They wanted to make sure that anyone who had missed the beginning episodes, bye honey, anyone who had missed the beginning episodes could still understand what was going on. So you do get a little bit of that in the first, dozen or so episodes of Supernatural. You get sort of, it can feel repetitive in streaming, but it's just the nature of TV back in the day. So I missed that entire opening while I was yammering, but yes, that was not a good idea to go swimming in a lake all by herself.
Can I get you anything else?
Just a check, please.
Okay.
Here, take a look at this. I think I got one. Lake Manitoc, Wisconsin. Last week, Sophie Carlton, 18, walks into the lake, doesn't walk out. Pleasure.
Yeah, see, like this whole conversation and this part between them is that sort of
people just stop looking.
Reiteration of the storyline. But
Will Carlton?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm Agent Ford. This is Agent Hamill. We're with the U.S. Wildlife Service.
She was a varsity swimmer. She practically grew up in that lake. She's as safe out there as in her own bathtub.
Apparently bathtubs are not very safe, according to later on in this episode.
Now, I'm sorry, but why does the Wildlife Service care about an accidental drowning?
You sure it's accidental?
Will Carlton saw something grab his sister. Won't be much of a town either. But it's federal wildlife. You already knew that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
Yay,
am I
Fred.
interrupting?
Sorry.
I think
She's mostly Fred from Angel for me, but she's great. Been in lots of stuff.
Oh, well, hey there. What's your name?
Oh.
His name is Lucas. Is he okay? My grandson's been through a lot. We all have.
Kids are the best. You didn't even like kids.
I love kids.
He does,
Name 3
actually.
children that you even know.
The lifestyle doesn't exactly allow you to get to know any kids for any long term. So that's not fair.
No wonder that kid was so freaked out. Watching one of your parents dies is something you just get over.
Can we join?
tell your friend this whole Jerry Maguire thing's not gonna work on me.
I don't think that's what
It
this
would
is
work
about.
on me, I'm just saying.
I'm not so bad myself.
Well, I don't know about that. Teen draws like I draw, stick figures.
I think I know how you feel. When I was your age, I saw something. Or maybe you don't think anyone will listen to you. Or believe you.
It's such a sweet thing, like, it's so simple, and it's like kind of instinctual, right? That he's giving him the idea that he'll be believed and listened to. A lot of kids that deal with trauma, that's definitely one of their things that they don't want to,
This is for you.
that they're worried about, right? That
This
they're
is
not
my
going to be
family.
believed. And so Lucas
my
is
dad.
hearing him, right?
That's my mom.
He's hearing him, and it's clearly at some point is starting to register that, you know, maybe he will be believed, maybe
All right, so I'm
Dean
gonna stop
can
the
help,
artist. I'll see you around, Lucas.
which is very, very sweet. It's a big gift to give to a kid, just being believed. It must feel like a big deal for her, too, for Andrea. Because, I mean, he doesn't communicate with anyone other than her, really. And so, I mean, that has to feel pretty amazing to her. And I think it's probably partly why she agrees later to let him talk to him again. Because, I mean, clearly there's a connection there, so.
Children are gone. It's worse than dying.
Yes, which is why you probably should have, at some point in your adult life, given some kind of reprieve to Peter's mom. But they chose not to,
What do you think?
which is wrong, but
I think the poor guy's been through hell.
I still can't help but feel sorry for him
I
a
also
little.
think he's not telling us something. But if you think there's even a possibility that something else could be going on here,
The way they light the boys in this show
please
is,
let me talk to your son.
I think it's Serge is the name of their cinematographer and director of photography. Incredible. They're always lit so beautifully. The scenes in general are lit so beautifully, but they really know how to capture the
Hey,
boys'
Lucas.
beauty.
You know, I
The scene is so sweet.
wanted to thank you for that last drawing. But the thing is, I need your help again.
Every once in a while, when Jensen, in general, in this role, other roles, whenever he says words like again or like get out, he sounds very Texan. And Dean is not Texan, but like again comes out
Did you
again.
know something bad was going to happen?
Every once in a while, it slips out just a little.
Maybe you
Always
could
makes me smile.
nod yes or no for me. You're scared. It's okay. See, when I was your age, I saw something real bad happen to my mom. And I was scared too. But see, my mom, I know she wanted me to be brave. I think about that every day. And I do my best to be brave.
You succeed, my friend.
And maybe your dad You'd be brave too. Thanks, Lucas.
So sweet. Everything Jensen does in that scene too is so subtle, like his facial expressions. You can see ideas occurring to him in the moment. It's just very, very subtle, very, very well done acting.
What you said about Mom. You never told me that before.
It's no big deal. Oh, God, we're not gonna have to hug or anything, are we?
Yes, God forbid. Give each other all the hugs. Stop.
Everyone.
Another case of having a guest actor on the show for
Got nothing
3
left.
scenes. He's a very talented actor. It's very impressive. The show is very, very lucky and great at casting its guest stars. Yikes. So creepy, the little voice. Play with me. Aww.
Lucas, hey, what is it? Lucas. Lucas, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, Lucas, it's okay.
Aww. Little baby.
And you're not really wildlife service.
Well, the last part,
That's right.
maybe.
I checked. The department's never heard of you two.
See, now we can explain that.
Enough. You get into your car, you put this town in your rearview mirror, and you don't ever darken my doorstep again.
Dude. Chill.
Door number 2 sounds good. That's the one I'd pick.
Mm-hmm. You're not overcompensating for anything by any chance, are you? Desperate to get rid of them so you can hide your misdeeds? I think I would be supremely worried about my child if he was just drawing swirling pools of death over and over and over again. Why on earth would you take a bath? Well, I mean, I guess she doesn't realize that it's all connected, I guess. She does, however, fill her tub ridiculously full.
But why would you think that?
Because Lucas was really scared.
That's what this is about?
Yes.
Who are you? And what have you done with my brother?
Shut up.
Like, when she gets in the tub, it's ridiculously full. Look how full it is. And she's just like, I'm going to keep it running for a little while longer. If you had shut it off right here when the tub was full, you wouldn't have got gross spirit juice water. It's so gross. Like, sweetie, shut off your water. You're just going to flood your bathroom. Oh, gross. Gross. So gross. Bleh. Oh, don't put it on your face. Oh. It's so grody. Aw. Can I just say bravo to the director for managing to shoot a woman flailing around naked in a bathtub with obviously not being able to actually show her naked. That was impressive. That's hard to do. Make sure everything is covered but still show what's happening. Well done. I believe this is Kim Manners' first episode directing. Good for you, Kim Manners. Oh, poor baby. See, the lighting, incredible. Jared has such pretty eyes, and I mean, they both do. But it's lit so beautifully.
I thought I heard.
Peter Spike. Who are you? Put the gun down, Jake.
Listen to yourself.
Listen to yourself.
You're insane. I don't really give a rat's ass what you think of us. But if we're gonna
As
bring
per
down
usual.
this spirit, we need to find the remains.
Like, do
Now
you
tell me you
seriously
buried
think
Peter
all of
somewhere.
this
Tell
was
me you
just
didn't
a
just let him go in
coinky-dink?
the lake.
Oh, Lucas. I've heard a lot of comments and stuff from people being like, how stupid is the kid that he's like reaching into the lake? Like, but I think we're meant to think that there's kind of like a bit of a trance and connection between Peter and Lucas, in that Lucas is maybe not completely in control of his actions. I think that's the case.
Peter was the smallest one. We always bullied him. But this time,
I'll never understand that mentality as long as I live. The need to like pick on people. Especially like people that are smaller than you or weaker than you. I don't understand it.
we let the body go. And it sank.
Well done. Like, you are an idiot on every possible level.
Lucas!
Lucas! Lucas! Stay where you are!
So creepy. So creepy. Yeah, how rational are you now? One of my favorite shots is the dive. It's just without thinking, both of them just boom, immediately into the water where people are dying. I mean, they don't have a connection obviously to Peter, but it doesn't mean they won't drown. They just don't care. They just...
If you can hear me, please, I'm sorry. Peter, Lucas, he's just a little boy. Jake, no! Just let it be over!
I do think that people are supposed to question for just a second whether they actually saved Lucas here. When Sam was like, "We can't save everybody," I think you were supposed to wonder, like, did they not save him? But
We're not gonna save
he's talking about
everybody.
Jake. Which it's sweet that both of them are so sad that they couldn't save him, even though obviously he was very much in the wrong. But
He made you lunch for the road.
so.
Lucas
They still
insisted
wanted
on
to
making
save him.
the sandwiches himself.
Give it to him now.
Of course.
This is a very important phrase, so I want you to repeat it back to me one more time.
That's the rule.
That's right, up high. Take care of your mom, okay?
I approve of her actions. Seems appropriate and completely understandable.
Sam, move your ass. We're gonna run out of daylight before we hit the road.
Yep, episode still holds up as one of my favorites for sure. It's a really well done episode. Like I said, I'm almost positive. I don't have IMDb in front of me, but I'm almost positive that this was the first episode that Kim Manners directed. For those of you who don't know, Kim Manners was a director on a lot of episodes throughout the first 4 seasons, and he was I believe he was a executive producer as well, or a producer on the show, and was very heavily involved with the look and the feel of the first 4 seasons. And then he got in the early-ish on in the filming of season 4, he ended up finding out that he had cancer, and very, very tragically and very suddenly passed away, which was a huge loss. And apparently, I know he did a lot of episodes of X-Files as well. He was very well known, especially like within Vancouver, the sort of Vancouver filming industry, and so I know he was very well loved by everybody, from X-Files to Supernatural, and I'm sure many other shows as well. So yeah, it's obviously terrible that they lost him. So yeah, I think he was only like 50 something. I think he was quite young, and it was very sudden, and very, very sad. But yeah, so I think this was his first episode, and he, the boys quote him quite often, and give him a lot of credit for, advice he gave them early on, and so his sort of presence is felt throughout the series. So, but yeah, and this was a really beautifully acted, beautifully written, directed episode. As I said, I love that we get to see a softer side of Dean. I love that Sam gets to see a slightly more vulnerable part of Dean, although he then immediately shuts it down and is like, what? No, I'm a guy. I'm so tough. But Sam does, for at least a minute anyway, get kind of a peek behind the bravado facade that Dean always has up, so that was good. Yeah, so anyway, I highly enjoyed this episode, and thanks so much for watching with me, and we'll see you again next time for Phantom Traveler. Bye.